I wasn't frosting cupcakes when everything broke. I was helping my daughter cut paper snowflakes for Christmas, laughing, making a mess, watching the glitter fly everywhere, when my phone buzzed and my mother's voice instantly shifted the room's air. She didn't say hello. She didn't ask about the kids. She said, "Your brother is bringing his girlfriend for Christmas, and your kids can't come. They don't fit the image." And every word landed like a punch I wasn't prepared for. My daughter was humming beside the tree she decorated herself, ornaments crooked, tinsel everywhere, joy spilling out of her tiny hands, and my son was running around with a toy dinosaur, roaring with laughter, completely immersed in the world he created. And my mother called them a problem. I swallowed the sting, nodded slightly, and whispered, "I understand," even though every part of me didn't, my hands shaking as I hung up. I used to think I was the reliable one in my family, the one who fixed things, the one who silently carried the weight of every emergency and mistake. When my dad got fined for the deck, I paid it. When my brother ruined his car engine by ignoring maintenance, I bought him another. Subscriptions, phone plans, streaming services, camera equipment, everything quietly attached to my card. Every dollar a hidden sacrifice no one acknowledged. They called it helping, but I was being drained dry, and I didn't see it until they tried to take one thing too many. This time, what they tried to take was my children. That night, I lay awake staring at the ceiling, the cheap string lights of the living room glowing faintly, replaying her words over and over. Your kids would ruin the image. Standing there in the quiet glow of the mismatched Christmas lights, surrounded by crooked paper stars, dinosaur footprints on the carpet, and crafts taped all over the walls, I realized something profound. This wasn't messy. This was real. Not staged, not curated, not sanitized, just life happening. The next morning, the doorbell rang like an accusation. My parents stood there, my brother Ethan, and his influencer girlfriend, dressed like she had walked straight out of a minimalist Instagram feed. Her blonde hair in a perfect ponytail, beige coat, beige boots, beige personality. She looked past me into my apartment, at the toys, at the drawings, at the lived-in chaos, and said, "So this is the chaos you bring into the family aesthetic." That's when I understood. This wasn't about Christmas, it was about control. They told me my kids were unpredictable, too loud, too real, and then they asked for $2,000 to help fund their perfect holiday. My son shuffled into the hallway, holding his stuffed dinosaur, and asked, "Mommy, pancakes?" And in that moment, something inside me hardened, a calm rage I had been holding for years. I told them no, not loudly, not dramatically, just no. They called me difficult, ungrateful, selfish. They said I was ruining Christmas. I wasn't ruining Christmas. I was ending a pattern, a long-standing expectation where my children were meant to shrink so others could shine. I closed the door behind them, silently, feeling the solid weight of it as the only barrier between my children and a world that had always tried to make them smaller. I cut off payments, changed passwords, removed access to accounts. Inside, my children were laughing, the apartment loud, messy, alive, and it was perfect in its imperfection. For the first time in years, I felt calm. Not perfect, not curated, but free. Because love isn't curated. It isn't beige. It isn't filtered or controlled. It's loud, chaotic, messy, human, and it never asks your children to disappear. The story of the Christmas where I finally chose my children, my family, and my own sanity over anyone else's control unfolded in the glittery chaos of our living room, in the sticky hands of my kids, in the crooked ornaments, the uneven lights, the paper snowflakes shaped like amoebas, and the syrupy pancakes we made together. And for the first time, it was enough. More than enough.